Good afternoon, dear student. In last class, we have studied about the chemical change and physical change. There we have described about what are the difference between them, what are the characteristics of physical change and chemical change. So today we will begin with the term chemical reaction. So we all know that there are different types of changes. There are chemical changes. So if the chemical changes are expressed by some process, so the process by which chemical changes are expressed by either addition, by synthesis process, by decomposition, by displacement, is known as the chemical reaction. So chemical reaction is the process by which chemical changes are expressed in chemistry. So that is chemical reaction. Now chemical reaction has really occurred or not. Chemical reaction has occurred or not, that should be indicated. That should be indicated. How do we know that chemical reaction has occurred, the process has occurred? So that can be known by some indication, like for example there should be change in temperature. So how we can know there is indication of chemical reaction? First, there should be change in temperature. So first indication we can indicate by whether there is change in temperature or not. If there is change in temperature, then we can say that their chemical change has occurred. Similarly, another thing by which we can know that chemical reaction has occurred or chemical change has occurred is by looking or observing whether there is change in color or not. If there is color change in an object, then the chemical reaction has occurred. So like in the leaves, sometimes leaves they change color, green to yellowish type. If they convert, that means there is a chemical change. Like example, iron, if it is exposed to air, that is moist air, the brown color is appear on its surface. So that also indicate that chemical change has occurred. Similarly, another thing by which we will come to know that chemical change has occurred can be known by occurrence or release of heat. If there is heat is released, then that is also the indication of the chemical change or chemical change. Now let's see this chemical change. Now we can express them in the form of using symbols or by using their name, in words. So let's see how we can express chemical reaction. So how we can express chemical reaction? So chemical reaction can be expressed in different ways. One of the ways is by using word equation. So we call it as word equation. So remember this, what is word equation? Now word equation means, suppose there is a chemical change like sodium. Sodium reacts with chlorine. Sodium reacts with chlorine to form common salt. What is its scientific name? We call it as a sodium chloride. Sodium chloride. So this we will write in our reaction. So common salt, what we call it, common salt is sodium chloride. So what we can say, a chemical change has occurred, that is sodium react with chlorine to give sodium chloride. So this is a chemical change. Now this chemical change can be expressed in short form by giving its name. Okay, so name how we will use. So here main thing is that this thing, sodium and chlorine, which I have already told in previous class, there is reactant and product. So here sodium and chlorine will act as the reactant, and the new thing which is formed is sodium chloride. So this I will express in the form of word, okay, in this way. Sodium plus, I will use plus sign here, and there is chlorine, okay. Sodium plus chlorine gives, means form, I have even written here, form can be said as gives. So this symbol is indicating that sodium and chlorine, when they react with each other, they will form sodium chloride. Okay, they will form a sodium chloride. So here already I have told previously, these two things, they are known as reactant. What they are known as? They are known as reactant. Okay, what is reactant? You have already known that reactant are those substances which undergo chemical change. So those substances which undergo chemical change are known as reactant. And this reactant, in this case, this example, sodium and chlorine, they both are the reactant as they are going change. Okay, and what is new thing formed? This new thing is formed, that is sodium chloride. So this is what? This is called product. So in a chemical reaction, there will be reactant and product. Product means the thing which is formed. The thing which is formed, or substance you can say, the thing which is formed after change in reactant. Okay, change in reactant. And generally what happens in reactant are written on the left hand side. If you look here, our left is this side and our right hand is that side. So generally the left hand side reactant are written, whereas the product is written on the our right hand side. So here just one way of expressing a chemical reaction, the process by which chemical change are expressed. Either it may be addition, okay, like here two substances they have added to produce one single product. That is one method that you have studied in class 8 also. And other method, like you may have studied about calcium carbonate is converted into CaO plus CO2. That is, calcium carbonate is converted into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. That is, one single product, one single reactant is converted into two or more products. So that is the way by which chemical reaction is expressed. Okay, that is chemical reaction in that way. So here we were discussing about the reactant and product and the way by which the chemical reaction can be expressed. So one way is by using the word equation, where we have used the word for the reactant as well as the product. So by using the word we have expressed. That is one way. Now same thing I will express by using their formula. Okay, that formula we have studied in previous chapter. About formula we will use formula or the symbol of the element which are involved in a chemical change or a chemical reaction is written, and that is expressed in a way. That expressed way is known as the formula equation. What we call it as a formula equation, or simply skeleton equation if it is not balanced. So what is balanced and unbalanced? Again we will discuss. So first, formula equation, same chemical change, same expression. I will write using symbol and formula. Like sodium, we all know that sodium symbol is Na plus Cl is the symbol for chlorine. But chlorine is diatomic element and the element undergo chemical change. Okay, so what we have to write, Cl is the symbol of chlorine, but in free nature it does not exist and it does not undergo chemical reaction. So what it happens, it is a diatomic element, so we have to write Cl2. So why during a chemical reaction you have to remember that chlorine, like Cl2, you have to write, like bromine, so Br, wherever bromine is written, there you have to write Br2. Where is written nitrogen, N2, where written oxygen, O2. Like that, other diatomic element, they will be written in this form. Is it clear? Okay. So now I will proceed further. So what I will write here, sodium chloride. So in previous chapter you have already studied how to get the molecular formula of a substance. So here sodium and chlorine. Okay, chloride means it has come from chlorine. So sodium, what is the symbol of sodium? It is Na. And what is the symbol of chloride? It is Cl. So here we are not writing Cl2 because we are forming the molecular formula. So these are the two elements which are involved in the formation of sodium chloride. Now what is the valency of sodium? It is 1. Generally we can write here also doesn't matter. Chlorine also, its valency is 1, negative 1, yes, positive 1. So if we cross it, what we get? We get NaCl, sodium chloride. Okay, sodium chloride. So what is the formula of sodium chloride? NaCl. So I have told how to get the molecular formula too. Okay. Now if you see here, here we have used word. Okay. Same thing we have used here, formula. So this formula is known as the formula equation. Here what happened? We have used the formula. So it is also known as formula equation or skeleton equation. So now just about I will describe about it. Now sodium here in the reactant side only single, and in here it is single. That is number of sodium here 1, chlorine here 2. In this side, that is in the product side, sodium is how much? Only 1, and chlorine is also 1. But if you compare this reactant side and the product side, you find sodium is equal in number, whereas chlorine is differ. So since the number of atom present in the reactant side is not equal to number of atom present in the product side, that's why it is also known as unbalanced chemical equation or the skeleton equation. Okay, skeleton or unbalanced chemical equation. So for today we will discuss up to here. So remember what is chemical reaction. So go through the book, you will find the definition there also. And after that, how we can know how chemical change has occurred or chemical process has occurred or not. That can be known by change in temperature, change in color, rise in temperature, etc. So formation of fume or evaporation, like that. So the different chances. And similarly, how chemical expression can be expressed, like word equation, and after that we have studied about the formula equation. So for today this much, and in third part we will discuss about the balanced chemical equation and how we will try to balance chemical equation. For today, this much. Thank you.